Megalopolis is the best worst movie I've ever seen. It is. I'm probably not even gonna write a full review on it because it is a disaster. I don't know what the fuck I just saw. I just saw it. I couldn't tell you anything about it, what it's about. It's just a mess. It's a disaster. It's a disaster, a train wreck. And if I wasn't watching it with like a sold out crowd who was laughing at the movie the entire time, and it's not a comedy, I would have left. I would have turned it off. It would have been painful to endure. But luckily, I was with the sold out crowd. Everyone was interested to come see how bad this was or how good. And I tried to go in with an open mind. I wanted to give Francis Ford Coppola the benefit of the doubt because, of course, he's delivered some of the greatest movies of all time. Mind you, that was back in the 70s. But I wanted to give it a fair shot. I'd heard the reviews of the film festivals, and I knew it was unmarketable, and no one wanted to pick it up, and no one knew what the hell it was. But yeah, it's a disaster. But I had the greatest time watching it ever. Like, this will be a movie theater experience that I remember forever. And that's what I'm going to take away from this. Yeah, the story is just disjointed. There's nothing there. It's a big nothing burger. Like, nothing connects. It's all... I can't even explain it. Coppola's worked on this for the past, 40 years. And you can tell that scenes are written probably 20 years apart. Because it's so disjointed. There's a good movie in there somewhere. He probably had it when he came up with the concept 40 years ago, and he's just overwritten it so much that it's just gone. It's so overwritten. It's so overdone. It's just terrible. And the performances, there's some great actors in this, and the performances weren't even good. At least Aubrey Plaza was the one person in the film who knew what kind of movie she was in and had fun with it. So I loved her performance, even though there was some weird stuff going on with her character, with the characters around her, with all the characters, actually. There's some crazy lines of dialogue that just had me dying of laughter. This is the hardest I've laughed in a long time. And that's why it's the greatest movie theater experience I've ever had. Everyone in the theater was laughing. People were just dying in the seats. I feel bad, of course, because I want to support art and taking risks in film and creativity and experimental films of this kind of nature. But this really didn't work. And it just was a gut reaction to laugh at it. I don't know. I really tried to see where Francis Ford Coppola was coming from, but I struggled. I can't defend it. It is the most 10 out of 10, 1 out of 10 movie ever. I hate the movie. I'll never watch it again. It was a total painful disaster of a film, a hot mess. A true dumpster fire. And yet I love the movie theater experience I got from it. So I'll always remember this because it was so much fun. The credits rolled and we kind of sarcastically clapped at it. People were joking as we were walking out. This is the most sense of community I felt in a movie theater with an audience watching a movie in a long time, probably since Endgame, where I felt connected to everyone watching. We were talking, we knew everyone as we walked out. Everyone was watching, having a good time. And afterwards, yeah, we were making jokes oh, cancel the Oscars. Megalopolis is going to sweep. And yeah, it was just, you could ask me, how was the movie? And I'll just laugh. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend checking out Megalopolis. As much as I want to support creativity in film, experimental film, and films that try and push the art form forward, this just isn't worth it. There's nothing there. And I know Francis Ford Coppola is a legend, but this was a true dumpster fire of a film. And if you missed the IMAX pre-screenings tonight, don't go to it. You won't get, unless you have a sold out crowd of people who are wanting to see if it's good or bad like that and accepting that it might be bad. Don't go. And I mean, we got the live portion too, which was really cool, but like it added nothing to the movie. It was just kind of weird, and I don't see why they did it. Whatever. What a movie. What a terrible movie. But I had the best time watching it, and I will never forget this. Never gonna watch the movie again, but will always remember how much fun watching this was for the first time because of how bad it was. So anyways, yeah. You've heard it in the reports already. It's terrible. And that's just how it is. But man, if you see it with the crowd, it's a great time. And I gotta say, the live stream panel from New York they did right before the movie started, my God, that was also just hilarious. Like, I was thinking when it ended, I could just go home now. I'm satisfied. Like, that was hilarious. Like, Francis Ford Coppola wouldn't stop talking. Spike Lee was the only one who'd answer the questions being asked, and then he'd just kind of try and take over the panel. Robert De Niro, when asked about the future of cinema, went into politics mode, which, I mean, good for him using the platform like that, but you're asked about the future of cinema and you're starting talking about how bad Donald Trump is, which, yeah, but, like, I agree, but I want to know what you think about the future of cinema, Robert. So, and then you have Francis Ford Coppola chiming in with another unrelated. It was a disaster of an interview, and I feel bad for the interviewer, but the whole experience was just such a good time, and I loved it so much. Hated the movie. Panel was hilariously bad. Check it out on YouTube if you can. But yeah, Megalopolis. One of the worst movies I've ever seen, but so much fun to watch.